everybody, and get some booms in the chat for the playthrough for Rookie Division with various type of wins here for the Coast to Coast tournament in Golf Clash the game. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and we're playing from Front Tee in Rookie, which is Rookie Division and tour number 2 and 6 for the Uniper Point and tour number 6 for the City Park. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. Get the best guides on the market and improve your game today by check out our packages through patreon.com/golfclashtommy, link in the description down below. You will, for every hole, see an info box on the right hand side where you can see the elevation. You will see what club and what ball I do suggest you to use. In the end, this is going to be a much more difficult tournament that we have been used to lately, and that's also going to be a bit refreshing and interesting to see what scores we can do. Please let me know in the comments what you think is going to be the score to win in Rookie Division, but also in the other divisions if you do have that time to comment that as well. In the end though, let's go to hole number 1. Hole number 1, we are playing with the Goliath or the Backbone. I would prefer the Backbone due to a better accuracy and a better ball guideline. 3 bars of backspin when we do have some sort of a direct crosswind. Even if we have a little headwind or a little tailwind, 3 bars of backspin is gonna be perfect. You can see that I deliberately aim on the right side of the green of the pin. The reason I do that is for the fact that the green slopes right to left. So we do want to take advantage of that and play on that side for the ball to fall down towards the pin for a possible hole-in-one. Marlin ball, as I don't really feel that we need to spend any other ball, we can still get a very nice outcome here for hole number 1. 10% over adjustment, and we're playing maximum distance numbers. For hole number 2, we are starting with a Marlin ball, and here you can see that we do play with a quarterback, and I would say a quarterback here would be very valuable if we do have tailwind, because then we have a good accuracy, we have a good ball guideline, and the thing that we do want to do is to go in between the rough and the trees on the left hand side. It is a tricky drive, because if you do hit a very bad shot or you completely misadjust your shot, you will get stuck in the rough, and if you get stuck in the rough or get stuck on the fairway before the trees will most definitely be in your face trying to approach the pin. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and I'm not pushing this ball at all. I'm just trying to get this ball on the fairway somewhere so I do have an open shot for the pin for the second shot. As you could notice there for the second shot, you could see that we are shooting uphill, and that's very important, and that's something that, the thing that is very important is to acknowledge that, because if you're shooting uphill, the ball is going to be affected less by the wind, and therefore we need to reduce for our original adjustment. So for an example, the 4.9 that our opponent originally have as wind, I would play that more as a 4.5 miles per hour in wind to be, more accurate when it comes to how much the ball will be affected by the wind. Now, second shot for us, and you can see that we are playing with the Thorn. Here you play either with the Thorn or you play with the Hornet, and the important part here though is to just not go too far. You can see how close we are to the water behind there, so make sure that you do use either no topspin or like a little bit of backspin even to be a good shot here. I generally play this one without any spin whatsoever. Measure your club range, which this one would be more or less towards a 60% club, and then you adjust and you take your shot, and hopefully you will hit perfect, because with a great ball we're gonna see this roll past, but with a perfect ball we're gonna experience a lot of eagles if we adjust properly here on hole number 2. Let's take a look at hole number 3, and here you can see that I'm playing with a quarterback and a Marlin ball. And why do I play with a Marlin ball on a par 5? The reason is the following. We are not going to be able to reach the green in 2. It doesn't matter if you play with a power 5 ball and lay up here before the rough and the sand here on top, because you will, still not be able to reach for the green in 2. So the thing that I do to save ourselves from a situation where we might spend a power 3 ball in an unnecessary time, then we do just lay up with a mauling ball, and then we do play with the big dog that gives us the most distance possible as a wood club, because now we are more or less looking for either to go over the rough if we want to use overpower, or that we're going to bounce before the rough over the rough if we just want to use the topspin. Now with a tailwind, I'm going to use the wind, as then we don't need to go with max overpower to clear the rough. The second shot is going to be played without any elevation, as you can see in the info box on the right. Now we are going to position ourselves up to the right hand side, because now we are going to approach the pin from the right. You can see that when it's our turn here now again, is that if we come in more to the left, we are not going to have that much green to work with. Unfortunately, now we come in between clubs with our backbone and the thorn, but I'm choosing the thorn. This is no easy shot, having to play on the fringe, and if you do rather want to go a different way here, you can use the back end of the green, having the ball to roll up, fall back down, but I would prefer to go directly at the pin here. You could see that I do suggest a Titan ball as well, and I want to touch base on that one, because those players of you that are playing with a big topper in a decent level, or maybe a Thor's Hammer 6+, Apocalypse level 6+ in rookie, then you can, if you're lucky, clear the rough with your drive, but then you need a power 3 ball to do so. Tough one though in rookie. I think we do need to settle for a birdie, but obviously if we ship it in from distance, an eagle is going to be a huge bonus. Take a look at hole number 4 here. We are going to play with a driver that gives us distance, which in this case is going to be the extra mile. I'm using a navigator ball to reduce the wind, but still also give me power 1, using 4 bars of topspin and also 2.5 bars side spin to the right. We do want to go in between the trees, or let's say like this, left side of the tree that is most to the right. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment is what we're gonna play. And as you could notice there on top, or like at our aiming point, it was very bumpy. And if we are off with our adjustment, we will see our ball maybe not bounce in the way that we want to. But in an ultimate situation, we will see the ball like we did here now, where it came just down the fairway, and then we have an open shot towards the pin. This shot here, however, is going to be a very good opportunity, especially if you're looking for a gold or a top 3 or a top 10. I do believe this shot is one that you do need to sink from time to time. I'm not using any elevation here for this shot whatsoever, and just trying to measure into what type of club distance I am at. If I'm minimum distance, I play minimum distance, medium distance, play medium distance, and so forth. Unfortunately, we do miscalculate both the speed and the direction here just a little bit. And the reason we miscalculate the direction is due to hitting the ball great. With a perfect, that would most likely be in, but we came in a little bit too hot, and that is 2 things that we do really need to think about when adjusting here for the second shot. But however, very good chance for an eagle. Number 5 here is going to be a quick video which we're going to see twice. We are first and foremost going to use a club that gives us a minimum 4.5 bar backspin, and we are going to aim directly at the green. Why do we aim directly at the green? It's because the spot that is on the back left there is not that good for us playing from front tee, because the tee locations for front tee, second tee, and third tee are very different. So we are kind of forced to play directly on the green, and then backspin is very, very valuable. And we're going to take that video once again. We're aiming directly at the green. Make sure that you aim for the first bounce to be just above the fringe. This is a little bit too high, and that you notice with the result as well. Marlin ball is going to be the ball to play with, in my opinion. And you know, a Saturn is not the wrong club at all. It could also be an upgraded backbone if you don't have the Saturn upgraded. But the more backspin, the better. And it's going to be a long iron, so the ones to look into: Saturn, backbone, Grim Reaper, and also the Tsunami. But this one is going to be a tough one to make an hole-in-one. It's going to be easy to get close, but it's going to be tough to make an hole-in-one. 4.5 bar topspin, max side spin if we're going to play on the left hand side. Yes, it is a viable option to play out there to the left, but a big reason why I'm not doing so is because I do have tailwind, and I do not like the risk with a bad great ball with a low accuracy club, and then we're going to be in the rough on the left, and then we're going to have a big problem making the eagle even on this par 5. 20% over adjustment, and we're playing maximum distance numbers. And the, you know, once again, speaking towards the right hand side as we're playing, even if we would clip the rough, we would still roll out on the fairway and still reach for the green. And here we do reach to a 365-yard mark, which is going to be wood club area. And you could also see that I'm playing with a Titan, which is a power 3 ball. And the power 3 ball is most definitely helping, especially if we do make a mistake with a drive, and you know, we go and we then in that case go short and then need the extra distance for the second shot. If we do play from the left hand side, the beauty part with that side is that you then have a more open line towards the pin. Playing from the right hand side, especially if we do play with a wood club for the second shot, will be a bit tricky, as we do have the rough and the sand very close to the right there, and we have to play very thin line towards the pin. It's manageable, it's not that it's impossible, but it's more difficult because we do have a much smaller room for error here. So if we do over adjust too much, or we hit a bad shot like a good right or something like that, we will be having an issue staying on the fairway, green or fringe. Now approaching the pin, I'm using a 10% over adjustment here, as it is a slight downhill approach. And the ball, we do hit perfect, and we're going to notice this ball bounce on the fairway coming in towards the pin, and we just barely missed that one to the right hand side. You know, I don't know if we're gonna call this one a good opportunity. At least there is an opportunity making an albatross, and I think that's very valuable to bring with us in tournament or in tour play. Number 7, we are not going to play with the big dog. That's our opponent that is playing, and the thing that I want you to play with is to play with the sniper if you have it in level 4+, or you're going to play with the Viper, because we do want accuracy, we do want as good ball guideline possible, and to have a chance on this hole. The rough bump, unfortunately, is unfortunately in between clubs to be able to be played, so and therefore we are going to play at approximately the same spot as our opponent is doing. So you can see that we do have a tailwind. Now we're going to try to look for a spot where we do, you know, we have a firm landing spot, so we're not going to have a very, you know, glitchy ball guideline. Using 1.5 bar top spin and 2.5 bar side spin to the right, trying to aim with the ball guideline with the second bounce. Yes, approximately, as you can see, approximately 1 to 2 green squares into the green. Blue ring by the rough doesn't tell us that much because we're playing with the Viper, and the accuracy is different with the Viper than other clubs. So my focus would be add the 1.5 2 bars top spin and then 2.5 bar side spin to the right, and look at the second bounce correlated with ball guideline to the hole. We get a very nice ball guideline ball right at pin for an hole-in-one on a tough par 3. I'm not expecting this one to drop all the time because it is an inconsistent hole to play. 10% over adjustment is what we're going to play when it comes to hole number 7. we're going to play one of the toughest par 4s in the whole game, in my opinion. The reason for that is look at the bunkers on the left, look at the bunkers on the right. We have 8 fairway bunkers and we have a very bumpy and slopey fairway. I'm using max side spin left, which is 4.5 bars, together with the 4.5 bar topspin, because we still need the distance, which you're going to notice in just a bit. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment for the drive, and we do want the ball to just bounce on the fairway and roll as far as possible without obviously rolling into any rough whatsoever. Now we are down there on the fairway and we should be able to reach for the green in 2, but the difficult parts are not done yet, because we do have an issue with the fact that we cannot go directly at green. We need to do a double bounce above. So first and foremost, I'm playing with the big dog, because with a bumpy fairway with my drive, I don't know if I'm sometimes going to, die short, or if I'm going to get enough distance every time. So therefore I'm using the big dog. That means that I do not have the ball guideline to play with at all. So I'm going to use approximately 2 bars of topspin, a little bit more if I am further back. But if I am, so I can reach to the spot that you can see here in the video, 2 bars of topspin is what I'm gonna use. And the plan here for me is to get it on the green or just on the fringe to just secure the birdie. This is no eagle hole in my opinion. If you get an eagle here, it's going to be very difficult to replicate that in some form. Titan ball is also, in my opinion, a must. We do need the power. Hole number 9, we are going to play either on the right hand side or we are going to play down to the left. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. I personally, after have been playing this hole more and more, I would go left hand side, and then we can go 2 ways. If we do not have more than 4.5 bar topspin, it is preferred to play a bit more aggressive drive as we're doing here now, so we do get the distance of, for the second shot especially, that we're not that far away from the green. Getting it down there in that little pocket of the fairway on the top left. And once again, those of you playing with 6 bars of topspin or more, then you can use the fairway pad that is, on the top left as well before the rough. So you can bounce there and get the ball to roll down. But with 4.5 bar topspin, that's going to be extremely difficult to get any distance whatsoever. You can see that I do suggest a power 3 ball here, and that is not a mistake. That is because I want us to stay away from using overpower if possible. Sure, with a crosswind or with a headwind, we might need to go with still a little bit of overpower, but with a tailwind or a tailwind and a crosswind, we should be able to stay away from overpower altogether, because using overpower is always a risk. Last thing with the drive, we play maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment. Second shot, we play with the big dog, and here again comes the power 3 ball with the Titan in as a very good thing to have. Now playing with a Quasar, which gives us power 1, makes us not be able to reach to bounce over the bunker, which is really the way that I would normally want to play it. So the thing that I do, I use 4 bars of topspin, max left spin. Now it's time to bounce over the rock and the rough, and trying to position ourselves where we did zoom in, and obviously stay away from the freaking bunker. So the thing here now that we're playing for, we are not playing for green here. We are playing for a position which would make a very simple wedge, and for us then to lock in the eagle. If you use too much topspin, you could experience getting a glitch with that roll up towards the green. So therefore 4 to 6 bars of topspin with that type of shot is going to be preferred. But once again, if we do have the wind, we do have the clubs, and we do have the ball, we are going to bounce over the bunker for a teeny tiny bit of opportunity for an albatross. But this is going to be generally an eagle. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division with various type of wins here for the Coast to Coast tournament in Golf Clash the Game. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and don't forget to join our Discord. Link to Discord is also in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching and good luck in the tournament.